Atmos Energy keys to the game. What do you got for Furman and ETSU today?
Well, Furman's post players run hard, make or miss. They'll try to exploit a thin ETSU front line. The Bucks backcourt really struggled against Western Carolina. Desmond Oliver challenged this group today at shoot-around.
Jordan King's got the ball right off the opening tip as ETSU has it first. You notice number 1 in white getting the start today. Jamarius Hairston is in the starting lineup in place of Justice Smith, who will come off the bench this afternoon. Alan Struthers now, right side, Jordan King waiting for the screen. Really got trapped, gets it away to Struthers. He has a screen, doesn't use it, now 8 to shoot. Struthers to the elbow, fadeaway jumper's good. If Alan Struthers can shoot that with frequency, he's going to be a really good basketball player.
Right to left step back. The key there is a hard dribble with that last bounce to ensure that the ball comes up quick and in rhythm.
So the Paladins go to work on offense. This is Jalen Slauson. And right side, he gives it to Marcus Foster. Foster, a player that's really been growing quite a bit over the course of the season. Left side, J.P. Pegues, the new young point guard. The sophomore takes it left baseline, but left it short. Rebound, though, is collected by Foster underneath. Inside of 3, Buccaneers gets it back out to Slauson for 3. Jalen Slauson, 16th made 3. And the Paladins in front.
How in the world was Foster able to corral that? 3 white jerseys around him, just loose hips, strong hands, first to the floor with 2 hands, and yanked it away.
And great on his toes on the baseline as well. Here's Hairston to King, who flashes for 3. No good. Rebound swatted out to Struthers. Struthers in the paint, lost it, got it back, gets it away to King.
Great job, Jalen Haynes tapping that ball back out, keeping it alive.
And now King attacks to the right. Oh, that's swatted away. Slauson, they got a hand on that one, and here come the Paladins. A hard runner, layup no good as Bothwell is fouled by Haynes on the floor in multiple senses of the word.
Both players hit a wet spot simultaneously. Didn't appear to be any contact there until Bothwell started the dive.
Haynes called for his first, team first, and yeah, it looked like Haynes just kind of lost a wheel there, like you're talking about, maybe some moisture on the floor.
Really unfortunate, because I'm not so sure Haynes wasn't going to Olay him and not give up the early foul.
Bothwell hits the first of 2. He's an 83% free throw shooter. His next point will be his 1700th at Furman.
Probably not going to catch my man Frank Selvey.
I should say not. I'm not sure anybody ever will. But he becomes the 11th player in school history with 1,700 points, and the Paladins lead by 3 early.
I'll say this, Selvey took a lot more shots than Mike Bothwell has.
And Struthers, he lost his balance on the floor, and a foul called there. And Struthers hard to the deck as Bothwell is called for his first.
It's like playing at the Boston Garden with the ice hockey rink underneath and the condensation. Remember that, the playoffs that year, players sliding around?
Let's take another look at it. Struthers, yeah, I think he might have lost his balance there as he was trying to get ready to take that to the rim on that baseline drive. I was in the Midwest for a little while. I tell you that the technology has come a long way. You can only kind of feel the ice under your feet now. King swings it left side, Struthers to the free throw line, back out to Haynes, who sets for 3. Back of the rim, no. Offensive rebound, Hairston. Haynes will take that shot occasionally. If you leave him open, he'll fire it. And Hairston gets the offensive rebound. Another opportunity. Seymour jumper. That's short. But Seymour chases down his own offensive rebound in the corner. Struthers top of the key. Bounces it inside, and a foul called on the Paladins as Haynes ends up on his backside, and that's on Slauson. And already in the first 2.5 minutes, a foul on Mike Bothwell and a foul on Jalen Slauson for Furman.
And ETSU a long time in possession on this end. Bucks unable to convert on 2 offensive rebounds, but they have kept Furman in a guarding position for a long stretch.
And they're going to get a towel and try to clean some moisture off the floor.
They might need a squeegee the way we started.
Look at it again, and Haynes, there was some contact there. He was helped to the floor by both Slauson and the Elements as the shot no good. Defensive rebound of the Paladins, and there's a foul. It's called on ETSU on Struthers.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on this. Mike Bothwell and Jalen Slauson, each with a personal foul early for Bob Ritchie's ball club.
And Jalen Haynes with one early for ETSU. Front court is a little thin. No Josh Taylor again today. No Brock Jancic either for the Buccaneers. Inbound is to Garrett Heen. Top of the key, gets it to J.P. Pegues. Out high, Heen with a shot fake. Now left side, a look at a three. Rims out, no good for Foster. And a defensive rebound of the Bucks. King in the front court. On the left side, he picks up that dribble, and now he wants to stretch it all the way back out to midcourt to Seymour. And Furman aggressive on the perimeter here, not letting those cuts get through. Hand off Hairston with 11 to shoot. Seymour, he'll drive himself to the right block, layup won't go. Rebound punch through the hands of Hairston, and Hairston dives on it on the floor, gets it back to King. Inside Seymour, little bit chaotic, but he's got it on the block and he can't score it. Rebound tipped out to Slauson, who wants to run. Slauson is fouled by King.
Furman just so good defensively, really connected and locked in. You see Jalen Slauson out in transition with the strong take. Jordan King, a nice play on the ball to prevent the layup. Got him before the shot.
His first and already the third on the team. Inbound is on the right side, it's Slauson. Flips it out to Pegues. The sophomore on the elbow, back to Slauson, who steps into a three and nailed it. His second one of the game already. And Jalen Slauson, the reigning SoCon Defensive Player of the Year, showing some offensive chops. Paladins up 6.
He's so good in that high post area. As I mentioned in pregame, a triple threat. He can stick it from the three-point area there. He can pass over the defense. Too much size for Hairston.
Love inside. Haynes, a lot of contact. We play on. And Furman with the ball going the other way after he missed that shot underneath. Pegues flips it out, Bothwell. He gives it to Foster, shot fake, and I think he kind of got caught of two minds. He takes it to the rim and lays it in with the right hand. And there's a lot happening on that possession that time, partner.
ETSU wanted to travel. It appeared Foster kept that left foot on the floor as a pivot foot.
The Paladins on a 10-0 run here in the first half. Top of the key, Struthers zips it inside. Hairston on the baseline with the catch. Backing down to the block against two defenders. Tough layup short. Rebound, Haynes put back good.
And that's what ETSU's going to have to do. Furman's so good at challenging shots.
That breaks a scoring drought of nearly 4 minutes for the Bucks. Right side, Pegues.
Both teams man-to-man. We'll see some zone in the half-court set also.
Foster wants to attack, lost it, got it back on the baseline and takes it up and in. And Furman getting the looks, exactly the looks they want. They're now 4 of 6 from the floor.
Just imposing their will and bouncing into the paint.
King gives to Seymour. What do the Bucks have to mount an answer here? King again.
You see ETSU offensively trying to create space on the block with Jalen Haynes. They're looking for a seal in the mid-post area to take away the help side.
With 5 to shoot, King out to Haynes. A look at a three is short, and that's a shot clock violation. And ETSU, well, they've got their hands full with the Furman Paladins, to say the least, on the Bucks' home floor here at Freedom Hall. Slauson with a couple made threes, Foster with a bucket, and the Paladins with an 8-point lead. In the last meeting, this is a series that has been dead even for the last 8 years or so. Both teams winning a game, and typically it's the home team holding serve.
Not just the last few years, but going back to the onset of the series between the two teams. Also remarkable how close they are in terms of total points throughout the course of this rivalry.
A lot of tight games. The last time somebody swept the season series, it was the Bucks in 2004. And Furman is now in a position where they've lost their last 4 in Freedom Hall under 6th-year head coach Bob Ritchie. 1-4 in this building, but off to a 12-4 start here in the first half, about 6 minutes in.
And those are some really good teams he brought in here as well.
Yeah, last year's team was 1 basket away from the NCAA tournament, as there's a tough shot up and good for Bothwell.
He just drives forcefully down that lane line. loves to go left. He can go to his offhand as well, but he's a step quicker when he can get to that left hand.
Ben Vanderwall in on the perimeter. Very exciting young freshman for the Paladins. Braden Illick, another freshman, out there for the Bucks, along with DeAnthony Tipler. Tipler has the ball in the wing behind an Illick screen. Pick and roll. Illick to the baseline jumper. Got it. That's the thing about Illick that's really exciting is he's 6'9", sure, but he can shoot it. He's got range, baseline, beyond the arc, whatever you need him to do, and he cuts the deficit back to 8.
Yeah, great timing. Tipler waited on Illick to get to his spot.
Back to ETSU after that rebound tipped out of bounds. Peggy's with a look at a 3 on that one, and couldn't get it to go. He has been able to knock him down. He's been a little bit streaky, but as a sophomore, he can do a lot of different things. Has fit in nicely, replacing a veteran point guard in Alex Hunter.
I like that substitution, keeping Haynes out just a little bit beyond the media timeout, also on a defensive possession.
On the baseline, Haynes has it and swings it right into the path of the defender. Peggy's takes it all the way and lays it in.
I like the thought of the skip pass, but you cannot telegraph one and send it through hip level in Division I.
Continues to add to his steal numbers. That's his 57th of the year. Tipler takes it inside, and the finger roll is good with the right hand.
Got the head and shoulders around Bothwell. Bothwell tried to bother it from behind, but nice finish by Tipler down the lane.
Vanderwall gets a look in the corner for 3. That's short, and a defensive rebound. Haynes, and a foul on the Paladins on the loose ball.
Vanderwall coming in firing. Young man with a lot of confidence, coming off a career high against the Citadel.
Tyrese Huey, the 6'6" sophomore from Columbus, Ohio, called for his first and the team's third with 12:23 left in the half. Couple changes coming. Joe Anderson, 6-foot junior from Maryville, Tennessee, is into the game. Slauson returns as well for Huey.
Deep bench for Bob Ritchie. Anderson off the bench. Very good defender off the ball. High basketball IQ. I really like Tyrese Huey. Comes in averaging 7 and 3. Brings a lot of energy as an undersized post player.
And this shift is done for the time being as a whistle and an offensive foul on Haynes. And that's his second.
Decision time for Desmond Oliver.
And here comes Jaden Seymour. That decision didn't take a lot of time as Haynes called for the offensive foul on the interior. Slauson draws that one.
Pretty easy decision. Down 8. Now Furman goes on a bit more of a run here.
And you might have to roll the dice.
Might have to.
Left side, this is Anderson. In the corner, he gets it to Alex Williams, the sophomore from Ohio. Back out to Slauson. Shot fake, gives to Foster, who was open for a moment, now has 10 to shoot. Lobs it to Slauson on the elbow. He's looking, gets it in the corner, Foster with 5. Foster backing down. Is he going to get it away? No, he's not. Shot clock violation on the Paladins. And the Bucks get a stop. And a timeout on the floor. 11:41 left in the first half. Furman with an 8-point lead on ETSU here at Freedom Hall. We'll be back with more right after this. City, and 11:41 to go in the first half. Keith Brake, Bruce Tranbarger. And Bruce, the turnover bug has plagued ETSU quite a bit this year. It bit them in a big way against Western Carolina. They got 3 turnovers early, but this is a little different. The Bucks aren't necessarily being careless with the basketball. Furman's just playing terrific defense.
Hey, they're locked in on a couple of levels, pressuring the basketball and contesting shots, and they're doing it without fouling shooters. Bucks yet to attempt a free throw. We're almost 9 minutes in.
Jordan King with the ball on the left wing. In the corner, Seymour. Back out Tipler. A contested 3 is good. He will hit it, whether he's got a hand in his face, whether he's right on the line, whether he's in the parking lot. He'll take that shot, and it's 16-11.
Anderson relaxed for just a moment, and that was long enough for Tipler to get a good look and go up strong in rhythm.
Bothwell jumper short. Defensive rebound. Seymour. Pass fake, and he traveled. Well, right as I say, ETSU not being reckless with the basketball. That's a little bit reckless from Seymour.
You give away a possession, but still Not as harmful as those live ball turnovers. A great job, Alex Williams, heady play, jumping in the passing lane. Also, guards can't leave Seymour out on an island. You have to come back and get a good passing angle as well.
Absolutely. Bothwell has it, right side Foster. Thought about it, instead gives back to Bothwell. Now it's Pegues. Slauson on the perimeter. Takes it into the paint, he lost it, scooped up by Bothwell. 5 to shoot. He foists up a 3, and it's no good. But an offensive rebound, and the Paladins get another crack at it.
Another big play, Alex Williams attacking the weak side.
Left side Foster with a ball fake. Spins to the block and takes it up and scores it. Marcus Foster with 6, tied for the team lead. Paladins up 7, 10:30 left in the half.
Foster attacking the smaller Tippler. Bucks might have to double down on that.
King has an Illick screen, and he's wide open for 3 and missed it off the back of the rim. And a rebound and a foul on ETSU. That one on Illick, his first, team's 5th, excuse me.
And ETSU struggles continue from the field. Bucks with 4 offensive rebounds early, but unable to convert any of those into points.
It's been a long time since I've seen a screen work that perfectly, partner. I mean, there was nobody between King and the basket.
Good job of him cutting off the screen as well.
Absolutely.
Didn't leave any daylight. Went hip to hip, shoulder to shoulder, just like it's coached by Desmond Oliver.
Foster a 3, no good. Offensive rebound uncontested to Slauson. Pegues with a pass fake. Now goes cross court. Bothwell has to corral it in the paint. Contested, good, and 1. And Mike Bothwell just makes those kinds of game-changing plays. Tough shot in the paint, off a pass. It's a little hot to handle. Partner, he's just that good.
Well, and he can make that three-pointer and would have shot it, but didn't get a clean catch. Kept his composure and just drives forcefully and aggressively down the lane. Seeks contact, embraces it, comes to a jump stop, and then goes up strong with the finish over the front iron.
And he hits the free throw. Bothwell now up to 7 to pace all scorers in the game. And looks like we just had a little bit of a hiccup with the scoreboard as the buzzer went off. But the shot was good. The free throw shot was good. Furman leads 21-11. King out after the foul was on Smith, and Hairston returns for ETSU. So Tippler walks it up. Right side, it's Smith. Smith to Hairston to Tippler. Smith cutting underneath the basket. Tippler puts it on the deck. Bounces it inside. Haynes open for a moment, falling away. Can't get it to go, and the rebound is tipped to Pegues. Pegues swings it behind him to Slauson. Out to Foster. Pegues a catch and shoot 3. Front of the rim, no. Rebound Tippler. Tippler lobs ahead, looking for Smith. Lays it up. Can't get it to go. Second time he's fouled.
Justice Smith running the floor, sealed his defender. An aggressive catch. Nice job coming back to meet the basketball.
Garrett Heen called for the foul as the trailer. Yes, an arm over the shoulder there of Justice Smith.
I mean, Justice Smith got J.P. Pegues on his back and was not letting him through.
And Smith at the line this season, 66%. First free throw is good. This has been a thorn in the side of the Buccaneers as a team coming into today's action, shooting just 64% from the free throw line. That's got to get better.
And they were really good the first few games. Then the misses started to mount and became contagious.
Smith hits both there, and it's an 8-point Paladin lead. And they go to work on the left side with Bothwell. Slauson, Heen, back out to Slauson. Goes to the elbow, in the corner, Heen, oh look at a 3, off the side of the backboard. Rebound to Smith. And Smith will take it up behind an Illick screen, bounce pass into the paint is right to Slauson. He was trying to get it to Haynes, and instead, Jalen Slauson is the man on the spot. To Foster, tough take off the side of the backboard, gets it back, put back, no, gets it back again, and back out to Bothwell.
Marcus Foster just pounding the offensive glass to extend possessions for the Paladins.
And he just got another one. An offensive rebound right to him. Takes it to the paint, lays it up, won't go. And finally a stop for the Bucks with Illick.
4 offensive rebounds this game already for Marcus Foster. 3 on that possession. And the Paladins still come home empty.
8:10 to go in the first half. And ETSU trying to chip this down to a two-score game. Left side, it's Smith on the baseline with 8 to the block, to the paint, turnaround, missed it. And a lot of contact on the rebound. Foul is called on the floor, and we'll get a chance to sort it out after the timeout. This game has been physical, to say the least. We'll take a timeout. Player down for Furman. They lead by 8. You're watching college basketball on the CW Tri-Cities. And they are taking a look at the last sequence on the monitor. As well, there's the jump shot by Justice Smith. It was short, and then Heen is on the deck. He's got his head in his hands. This will give us a better look at it, Bruce.
Well, definitely some contact now.
Yes. Oh, my, yes.
And the elbow came to the head. Certainly nothing intentional or flagrant, but there was contact, and anytime that contact occurs in that head, neck, or shoulder area, consequences could come around.
And they are trying everything they can to protect against that sort of head contact, because on top of getting the elbow up high, he'd hit the floor pretty hard.
And that's unfortunate because the opponent just happened to be there. If your arms go up in the air, you're trying to bring a basketball down.
Right.
Gravity takes over.
Officiating crew, Jason Deering is the crew chief, Matt Jarman and Luke Payne the other officials. There's Deering and Jarman there, and they huddle up about this. You see in the background Furman.
And they're consulting a long time.
Yes, they have talked about this a long time, all through the media timeout, and now after we've come back and been back for about 45, 60 seconds. So they're looking to see if Haynes pulled the Furman player down.
The hook and hold, which has been a point of emphasis in NCAA men's basketball the last 2-3 seasons.
And they're going to talk to the staff. They are talking to the staffs, and here comes Matt Jarman to fill us in. And what do we got?
Incidental contact. The foul is on blue 13.
All right, so Haynes second, and he is out of the game for the time being, as he had to be helped off the floor and then walked off under his own power. Had to be helped back to his feet.
And we appreciate Matt Jarman for coming over and communicating with us. Southern Conference officials do tremendous job on the floor and in terms of communicating with us as well. We appreciate it, guys.
Inbound pass knocked out by Tyrese Huey. And ETSU will get it on the sideline, down in the corner with 19 to shoot.
Difficult throw-in spot. This turns into a triple team. One player guarding the ball at the intersection of the in-line and the sideline.
Inbound is Jamarius Hairston, and a travel on Justice Smith turns it over.
Another unforced error by the Bucks. Cannot afford those, especially when you're struggling to shoot the basketball.
I talked with Dan Scott, the radio broadcaster for the Furman Paladins, before the game today. He said the Paladins are struggling to defend straight line drives. That's something that's kind of been Justice Smith's bread and butter. Do you see them deliberately trying to adjust to take that away?
Well, absolutely, but it's tough for ETSU to spread the floor when they're not making shots.
Right.
So Furman able to pack in that defense and really get in the gaps and take away the driving action.
Foul called on Huey over the back, his second. And now the team's sixth. And Tipler brings it up for ETSU with 7.5 left in the first half. Bucks looking to get another basket and cut this to 6. As Smith with a pull-up jumper is good. And Vanderwall ended up on the hardwood himself. Vanderwall's got the ball now the other way. Pass it in the corner. Back to Vanderwall. Now out high, Pegues.
Bucks go 2-3.
Behind a screen, now it's Vanderwall. Pegues again. In the corner, it's Huey. Pegues with 11 to shoot. Vanderwall Slauson with 6, with the shot fake, contact, and Hairston's called for getting him with the body. And that's kind of unfortunate for Jamarius Hairston there, because he baits on the shot fake, and he's just kind of out of control. There's nothing he can do. Slauson collides with him, and Hairston's called for the foul.
Well, it's a veteran play by Slauson, too. He shows a little leather, and Hairston aggressive on the close. Slauson utilizes Hairston's momentum against him to draw the contact.
That's the 7th on the team for ETSU, so Jalen Slauson 78% from the line. We'll go for the 1-and-1, and he hit the first.
You see Slauson notices that Hairston's leaning and off balance and just bounces into him.
More personnel changes for Bob Ritchie in this group. As Foster returns, Williams returns. Jordan King back out there for the Buccaneers. His second free throw is good, and it's back to an 8-point Furman lead. Here comes King. And the handoff to Tipler as he barks out the play. Now it's Illick to Seymour on the elbow. Shot fake in the paint. Tough contested jumper. Can't get it to fall. And a rebound to Pegues.
Just so hard to shoot over Slauson and his length and his hops. Second off the floor, contests the shot. Seymour unable to get a clean look.
Pegues wanted a screen, didn't get it. Foster now on the block to Bothwell. Pegues starts in, cut off by Tipler with 10 to shoot. There's Bothwell, open for a look at a 3, side of the rim, no good. Rebound popped out of the hands of Smith and corralled by Williams. Pegues back to Williams, a trailer 3. Inside of the rim, no good. Rebound just to Smith.
This time Smith up with 2 hands strong. He felt like Marcus Foster came through his back after the prior shot.
Smith goes behind the screen and zips it to Tipler. He wants a Seymour screen and got it. Top of the key, step back 3. Side of the rim, no good. Rebound Pegues.
Ball sticking offensively for ETSU. No movement, neither player nor ball movement.
Slauson to Bothwell in the corner. Long jumper for 2 is no good. Tipler zips it to King. Layup no good in transition, but Tipler gets it back and puts it home. Smallest guy on the floor finds the offensive board.
Jordan King took it right at the shot blockers. Couldn't get the finish, but nice job following up. Tipler, the offensive rebound and stick back.
Foster, Williams to the elbow. Slauson underneath. Bothwell shot rejected. And ETSU comes the other way with it with King on the right side. Bucks can sense a little momentum here. A 3 makes us a 1-possession game. King to the baseline, gets a step, reverses. No, but he's fouled by Bothwell, and that's the 2nd on Mike Bothwell.
And Matt Jarman was not going to call that. He was going to let that go. And I like this play right here, as you see the hard cut and the block shot off the backboard by Seymour, and the Bucks out in transition. Nice drive. Nice take to the basket by Jordan King. Got bumped by Bothwell enough to affect the shot. I think the officials were going to allow the players to play through that. But once the shot rolled off the rim, then you have to call that, because clearly an advantage was gained.
King, a 79% free throw shooter, misses the first as Illick checks out. And Jeremy Gregory in for ETSU. That's extended run for Braden Illick, 9 minutes. What'd you think of the freshman from Morristown, Tennessee?
Tremendous upside. Big guy, good hands, runs the floor, soft touch. Had 5 rebounds in 8 minutes against Western Carolina. It's aggression you cannot teach. So, tremendous future for this young man, and some quality minutes for Desmond Oliver this evening. 2 points, a rebound, and he set some solid screens as well. Here's Heen back in the game. Good to see after he hit the floor hard. Heen, top of the key, a 3, back iron, no good. The offensive rebound of Vanderwall. The freshman comes up with it. Vanderwall just yanked it away from a couple of white jerseys in traffic. Pegues with a shot fake, out to Foster, top of the key, 3 is good. And Marcus Foster with his 26th made 3 of the year. He's got 9 to pace the Paladins, who lead by 8. Foster comes in averaging 10 and 5, brought a lot of energy. And it's Smith to the corner, King. Back to Smith.
4 minutes left in the first half as Tipler goes baseline, follow-away jumper, no good. Rebound is tied up. Gregory got it and scored it. There's another freshman with some hustle on the offensive glass. 0 with the bucket, and it's back down to 6, and the Paladins turn it over. Foster over the baseline, out of bounds.
Speaking of freshmen, post players, how about Jeremy Gregory out of the bullpen for Desmond Oliver? ETSU out in transition. Tipler to King. Can't get the reverse layup, but
turnovers and on the glass as well. And for the Paladins, that's one thing that they're not traditionally been particularly good at is offensive rebounds. But ETSU -4 on turnover margins. The Paladins already have 8 offensive boards. They're 9th in the conference in offensive rebounds per game.
Well, they don't miss a lot. They come in over 50% from the field, so there aren't a lot of opportunities. That statistic somewhat skewed.
The percentages back it up too, though. So you played into my trap card there, Bruce. They're also 7th in the conference in offensive rebound percentage. So even accounting for that, not much going. There's a charge called by Justice Smith, and he hasn't been able to get much going. The Paladins haven't been able to get much going offensively at all. They're one of their last 12 from the floor, or one of their last 13 from the floor. They missed 12 in a row, and ETSU hasn't been able to capitalize.
Well, neither team able to get any separation offensively, but that's a credit to the defense both these clubs play. ETSU starters Jalen Haynes, Jaden Seymour, Jordan King, a combined 1 out of 14 from the floor.
And 15 bench points as well, including big production early from DeAnthony Tipler as that shot no good for Williams, but another offensive rebound, the 9th for the Paladins. Pegues swings it left side, Foster. Back to Pegues, shot fake to the elbow. Back to Foster, a look at a 3, got it. Foster with a dozen and 7 rebounds to boot in 14 minutes. And the Paladins back up 9.
And there's no reason for DeAnthony Tipler to get pump fakes off his feet in the open floor. He's 5'9". Probably hadn't blocked a shot all year. All he did was put himself out of position and put his defense in turmoil.
Left side, it's King to the baseline. Cut off, gets it out to Seymour with 4 on the shot clock, and Seymour traveled.
Just an out-of-sync ETSU offense. Jordan King drives to the baseline, picks up his dribble, turns that into a triple team once Furman comes to help with the trap on the sideline.
And now the Paladins come back with it. 2:20 left until the break, and they can stretch this out to double digits. A 2 or a 3 makes this the largest lead of the game. There's a 3 for Foster, and he's feeling it. His 3rd triple of the first half, and it's 32-20 Paladins.
Bucks look confused defensively. They're packing in a 2-3 zone and nobody matching up with Marcus Foster, who's already knocked one down from distance.
Double figures 9 times now this year. He was white hot against VMI at 7 made threes on December 29th, en route to a 23-point night. Tipler on the left baseline. Steps back for 3. Side of the rim, no good. And a defensive rebound to Foster, who is flirting with a double-double before halftime.
And once again, the ball sticks in the hands.
Foster again! Wow! Marcus Foster with 4 threes in the first half, and the Paladins are rolling at the end of the period. It's a 12-2 run. And look at this. I mean, just confidence personified right now. Marcus Foster II.
Well, and he deserves the shots from the perimeter with the yeoman's work he's been doing on the offensive glass. 7 boards, 5 of those on the offensive end. He's had a career in the first 20 minutes.
Just about. I mean, that's a pretty good weekend for some guys.
I'm convinced he can make that shot from the top of the key. The question is, are the ETSU guards buying in? Because he continues to get clean looks. If the ETSU guards don't arrive there on the catch, he's going to leave with 35 or 40.
He's already up to 18 in the first half, and This is something that I talked about with the ETSU radio broadcaster Jay Sandos a little bit yesterday, is the Bucks needed to close out a first half, something they haven't really done a lot of. You think about the Jacksonville State game, Gamecocks went on a run to level that up. UNC Asheville had a little bit of a run. Western Carolina went on a run to level a game that the Bucks led by double digits in the first half. King's shot no good, and ETSU once again not closing out the first half as Vanderwall brings the Midwestern Thunder to the rim. And it's 17, the lead for Furman.
And after the timeout, ETSU with a low percentage 2-point shot. Didn't get beat back in transition off the miss.
Hairston, Tipler. Looking for a pass on the interior. Lobs it for Illick, and that is batted down by Slauson, who's fired up.
No way you get that pass over Slauson.
Right side, Vanderwall. No look pass in the corner. Williams can't hit the three. Rebound, Illick. And that would have been, well, I don't even know what that would have been. It would have been a 20-point lead for the Paladins going into the half is what it would have been. Tipler will hold for the final shot. Desmond Oliver calling out the play. And now the offense comes to life with 10. Illick screen. Tipler behind it. Tipler trying to get the traffic in the corner. Seymour, a three is good! Jaden Seymour, just his third made three of the year, and that gives the Bucks something to feel good about going into halftime, but they are in a big hole at home to the Furman Paladins. A huge run at the end of the first half, paced by, well, a lot of Marcus Foster and a little Ben Vanderwall. We'll talk about it more at the half coming up.
Bucks. Let's see if they can build on that in the second period.
And the other thing I talked about with Dan Scott before the game, in addition to straight line drives, defending straight line drives, he also said energy and intensity can be a little up and down for Furman. They didn't really have a lot of energy in the second half against Western Carolina. So what kind of intensity do they have out of the half? And if the Bucks bring a little more intensity off that made shot by Seymour, how could that change the complexion of this game? As the shot by Slauson is no good. Rebound is Seymour. And the Bucks get a stop.
And to your point, everything has gone Furman's way early. If the Bucks make a little run, how do the Paladins respond to adversity?
And no shot, a foul called on the floor on Foster, his first.
Good start to the half for the Bucks. A stop on the defensive end and spread the floor. Smith able to get the head and shoulders around on the bounce.
And Struthers will, oh no, I'm sorry, that'll be Justice Smith on the side out. So it's the starting five for the two teams, except Smith starts the second half instead of Hairston, who started the game. Seymour top of the key. Looking for the handoff, gets it to Smith, to the baseline, ball fake, right hand floater, good. Justice Smith gets the Bucks on the scoreboard.
And Slauson.
(39-25), Paladins in front, Struthers. Out high, Seymour, shot batted down. And the pass inside batted down, and it's Pegues in the front court, gives it to Foster, lost it, tipped it, and Bothwell able to collect it. Right side, it's Heen, flips it in the corner, Slauson. Left side, Foster. Foster to the elbow. In the corner, Bothwell, a three is short. Baird didn't even hit the rim. And the rebound, Smith. And here come the Bucks with Struthers. In the corner, now it's Smith. Justice Smith to Jordan King. King. Back to Smith. Smith has a screen, but he's also got a defender between him and that screen set by Seymour, and a foul called away from the ball. Garrett Heen called for his third.
Heen and Jalen Haynes really going at it in the low block. Bucks spread the floor. Haynes tries to get the seal in the mid post.
Take another
There's
look.
a point of emphasis today at shoot around. They didn't want Haynes posting too low in that high-low action in order to take away the help side.
The inbound is out to Slauson, who brings the Thunder with the right hand stick. And it's 41-25 Paladins.
We talked earlier the bigs had to run the floor. Slauson doing just that with the emphatic finish.
And And that's off a turnover, right block. Haynes now has it, trying to answer, and he falls down and is called for a travel. And that's another turnover on the Bucks. That is now the 12th turnover of the game for ETSU.
Just no space there. Slauson overplaying on the high side. The help is there on the baseline side. Nowhere for Haynes to go.
So the Paladins up 16, and they bring it up with Williams. Williams to Slauson. Bothwell. Williams again on the elbow now. Backing down on Haynes. Flips it back out. Bothwell out near midcourt. Wants a high ball screen from Slauson. Gets it. To the elbow. Back to Slauson. In the corner. Foster, another three. Wow. His 5th May 3 of the game. And Furman up 19 early in the second half.
He likes that, the goal in front of his bench as well as he does the one in front of the ETSU bench.
Haynes to the elbow, to the block, lays it up, no, and he'll shoot 2. Taking that down the right side of the lane, getting the contact. Slauson called for his second.
There's the straight line drive that you talked about. Don't know that there was a lot there. Looks like Slauson in pretty good shape defensively. You see Marcus Foster, he's just feeling it.
That's absolutely remarkable what we've seen from Foster. It's not his season high, which is his career high, which is 7 against VMI, but he can threaten that with plenty of time left as Haynes hits the first of 2. And Jalen Haynes, 68% free throw shooter, knocks that one down. And he'll get one more with a chance at 4. Haynes had 10-6 Wednesday against Western Carolina, misses the second. He had 15-8 in 25 minutes against VMI a week ago. Off to a good start to SoCon play. Foster finally missed one. Rebound, DeAnthony Tipler ahead to Justice Smith. Smith lobs over the top of Haynes and right to JP Pegues. Pegues takes it to the block on the baseline, back out to Foster. A tough play to reel that in. Slauson.
Just an example of how connected Furman is defensively. Pegues with the help saw that Jalen Slauson a bit out of position after falling to the floor. ETSU unable to connect with Jalen Haynes on the block.
Bothwell one-on-one with King. Tricky dribbles and now pulls up for 3. Front of the rim, no good. And the rebound out to Tipler. And here come the Bucks. There's a lot of contact underneath.
Double foul.
And a double foul is called. Don't see that too terribly often. I'll be honest with you, I have never actually seen that called in a game in person, but here we are.
Well, 2 guys locked up.
Yeah, and Haynes
hit the floor simultaneously, probably a good call.
Will get his 3rd. Take another look at it. Yeah, it's 2 guys locked up in the paint. Haynes, and I believe that is it Slauson? Yes.
Yeah, good call. No questions from either bench.
That is the 3rd on Haynes. And that would be the 3rd on Slauson as well.
And that's what happens in a defensive struggle. You're clogging up the lane, not a lot of space. The double foul will help clean things up and get some separation.
25
down
on
that
the
post
shot
area.
clock for Tipler. Inbound in the corner, Smith. And a whistle, and he stepped on the sideline out of bounds and turned it over. That's the 14th on the Buccaneers. And just not in sync. And after looking like they might have a little bit of momentum out of the half, they've turned the ball over 5 times in the last 3 minutes. Top of the key, this is Huey. Gives it to Foster, who's been the hot hand for the Paladins. Left side, Huey. And now it's Pegues. Right side, Williams. Attacks, hop, step, reverse, no. Rebound through 2 sets of hands, and it comes back in the corner. A 3 for Williams is good.
I don't think he'll get credit for an offensive rebound, but it was Bothwell that shook it loose and kept it alive and extended the possession. Furman just physically tougher, stronger, and first to the ball tonight on both ends of the floor.
7th made three of the year for Alex Williams. As Tipler, a right side three to answer is no good. Williams the board. And here comes Pegues behind the back dribble. And Pegues directing traffic. Williams now. Foster back to Williams behind a screen. One-on-one with Seymour in the corner. It's Bothwell. He's fouled. And the Paladins will reset the shot clock to 20 when we come back with a 21-point advantage. About 5 minutes gone in the second half. And ETSU in trouble against the Paladins here at Freedom Hall today. And Bruce, you can start to see it in the body language of ETSU a little bit. This is a team that just looks discombobulated in all phases.
Furman has knocked them around on the offensive end. Paladin's able to pack it in defensively. ETSU only 35% from the field to accompany 14 turnovers. Furman's cashed those turnovers into 20 points.
Foster three is no good. He's missed his last two. And the Bucks catch a break. Smith and Jordan King. He's got a screen from Braden Illick back in the game. One way, then the other. King and traffic is fouled.
Finally, a little bit of driving daylight. Jalen Haynes with the seal. King able to get the head and shoulders around into open real estate.
And the foul occurred on the floor, so this is a baseline inbound. And Jordan King has been very quiet. He has not hit a field goal yet in the game. 0 for 5, just 1 point. Zips that one inside, through a set of hands. Hayne had it knocked out of his hands, out of bounds by Williams. Bucks keep it with 13 to shoot.
And King has quite a three-point streak going in terms of individual play that's in jeopardy at this juncture.
34 consecutive games with a made three. That's the longest streak in a long time. King to the elbow, pulls up, and he's fouled, and he'll shoot two.
And is this what it takes to get Jordan King going? You see Furman just packing it in on the defensive end. It's almost like they're playing a zone. But it's just a conservative man-to-man.
King at the line. We mentioned his three-point streak, 34 games with a made three. That's the longest streak since 2014, which was 38. And King's free throw is up and good. That's the only place he's been able to get on the scoreboard tonight. ETSU as a team, they extended their streak, 1,109 games with a made three all in a row. Last time they didn't hit one, February 16th of 1987 against the Furman Paladins. King hits them both, and the Bucks are back under 20 with 14:28 to go. It has been Furman's afternoon thus far. Pegues, left behind a screen, gives it out high. Look at a three for Huey, straight on, no good. Rebound Smith.
That's Huey's shot. He's a pick and pop. Could knock down the clean look.
Illick on the catch and shoot, no good. Rebound through the hands of Pegues, and Hairston is called for a foul. And the locals at Freedom Hall, pretty good crowd on hand today, vehemently disagreeing with that decision. But he got him above the wrist. Yeah, that's a foul. And that's a tough break for Hairston, trying to make a hustle play and gets the man on the arm. So
didn't look like it in real time.
No. That is a tough call in real time, as Pegues will take it all the way, lay it in with the left hand. JP Pegues with 4, and the Paladins back up 21.
Pegues with the straight line drive, no help arrives. That's what happens when you spread the floor with shooters.
Left side, Hairston spins to the block, turnaround jumper, high off the backboard, back bracket, no good, out of bounds. Buck ball.
Talk a lot about Slauson defensively. How about Bothwell in the open floor with the on-ball defense?
And that's
getting a good guarding position, pushing back, then getting high to contest the shot.
That's the thing about Bothwell is he hasn't had a great shooting day. He's 2 of 11, 0 for 6 from 3, finding ways, other ways to contribute to his team's success. He's done that in a big way today as Huey is called for his 3rd. And that's already the 7th on the Paladins. So the Bucks will go to the free throw line for a 1-1.
I think you'll always associate Bothwell with that heartbreaking loss they had last year in the conference finals against Chattanooga. He willed his team to within 1 possession of the NCAA tournament. Just carried the Paladins possession after possession.
And there's a lot of talk about expanding the NCAA tournament as well, going to something like 90 teams, 25% of Division I. That sort of expansion, Furman might have still gotten in last year with the team that they had, with the resume they were 86th in the net. It certainly would have been a team that was sitting on the bubble of an expanded tournament field. I mean, how do you feel about that as a guy that played Division I basketball?
I think that waters it down. Personally, I feel there are way too many bowl games too.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're 6-6, hey, congratulations, here's your participation trophy, but no, not a bowl.
I look at it this way: if it's still just 25% of Division I, then you're still saying 75% of y'all aren't good enough to even have a prayer plan for a national championship.
But it was an atrocity that Furman wasn't in the NIT last year.
I will definitely agree with that. It's certainly a high-caliber mid-major program the last few years as Bothwell takes it inside, kicks in the corner, and Vanderwall stepped on the sideline out of bounds. And the Paladins turn it over for just the 3rd time in the basketball game with 13:08 left.
2 teams in need of course, in basketball court geography. Boundaries are out of play.
We have certainly seen quite a few guys try to extend the floor this afternoon. Left elbow Tippler, Illick, Justice Smith to the free throw line, the pull-up. Back of the rim, no, and a foul is called on the rebound. And that foul is on Garrett Heen. That's his 4th.
Heen's the guy came in averaging 10 and 5, hadn't gotten it going tonight. Fortunately for Bob Ritchie's ball club, Furman did not need him to this point.
And Heen will check out. He had 20 in the win over South Carolina on November 20th. That's a game that obviously means a lot to that program. They go down to Charleston, neutral floor, play hard against Penn State. They beat the Gamecocks. And Slauson will check back in for him as Haynes goes back to the line for 2 more.
Learned a lot about themselves in that loss to Penn State. Got down by 20, fought their way back to within 1 possession. Bothwell had a shot, could have tied that at the end and went all the way down and popped out.
And then they turn around, and a couple games later, they beat South Carolina pretty handily. As Haynes, 2nd free throw. Got it. He's 5 of 6 from the line this afternoon. 7 points now, and the lead is down to 17, and the Paladins turn it over.
In the offseason, I'd like to see Jalen Haynes work on those free throws, maybe take a little bit of the right hand off. He's clipping it about 70%, but I think he can improve that percentage even more.
The Paladins have turned it over yet again in short succession. ETSU needs its first field goal in 6.5 minutes here. Inbound is to Haynes. Haynes gives to Tippler, bounces it. Too strong for Haynes. Just too much force on the bounce, and it's stolen by Vanderwall.
Yeah, and that's coming in blind to Haynes. Even if that gets through, big guy's going to have trouble handling that.
Slauson waves Vanderwall away. Trying to back down the much smaller Tippler. Swings it in the corner. Vanderwall to the baseline. Back out to Bothwell with 9. Wants a Slauson screen coming from the other side of the floor. With 4, with 3. Bothwell pull-up jumper. Got it at the shot clock horn. There's a clutch bucket from Mike Bothwell. He's got 9, and it's 51-32 Furman.
Furman got what they wanted, the 2-5 switch. Bothwell just too athletic for Haynes in space.
Tippler on the block. Gets it out to Seymour. fakes the handoff, and Smith scoops it up.
Yeah, and Seymour can pick that up. He just can't bounce.
Smith, a three, rims out, and a foul is called. And I think that's on Haynes. That would be his fourth personal with 11:42 to go. And it is on Jalen Haynes, the big man in foul trouble for the Bucks. He's made some nice plays, but ETSU is still in a big hole against the Furman Paladins. Hello to those of you watching with us on CW Tri-Cities and worldwide on ESPN Plus. Keith Brake and Bruce Strandbarger. It's been all Furman, 51-32. Bruce, you said before the broadcast the pressure was on the preseason favorites today. Well, I'd say they delivered under pressure with 11:42 left.
Either they like pressure or I was completely wrong. But look, they were one possession away from the NCAA tournament last year. Then got snubbed by the NIT. Bothwell and Slauson flirted with the NBA draft, but decided they had unfinished business in Greenville. Furman considers anything unacceptable other than a championship.
Right side, Jordan King in the front court. Baseline jumper, no good. Offensive rebound, Seymour. And Smith will fire a three, short. Left side, it's Tipler. He'll fire for three, no. Rebound tip by Illick, Smith claws it in. King is open, a right side three. That doesn't go. Another offensive chance for Seymour. Bounce inside to Smith, and finally they get on the board.
A great ball movement and interior passing. How about the big guy, Braden Elick, with the touch bounce pass?
And Illick picks up another rebound. 51-34 now, Furman.
And a quick assist off that rebound. Not a lot of guys at 6'10" can make that play.
Vanderwall in the corner gets it to Bothwell. Bothwell backing down King to the block. Into the paint. Right side, extra pass. Vanderwall three, good. Ben Vanderwall, 10th made three of the year. And he's got 5, and the Paladins back up 20.
Well, that's what Bob Ritchie does. He recruits post players that can stretch you and knock down shots from the perimeter. And Vanderwall with tremendous confidence from the corner.
Seymour bobbles and loses it out of bounds. And it's back to the Paladins with 10:13 left.
Again, another empty possession for ETSU, now down 20.
And that's been the case. I mean, 16 turnovers for the Buccaneers this afternoon. It's tough to win a game, especially with 22 points off turnovers. That kind of echoes the game we saw on Wednesday. In the corner, Vanderwall, another three. Side of the rim, no. Rebound, Tipler. And ahead to King. Tipler behind a screen. Takes it to the basket. Right-hand floater, no. And the rebound collected by Williams, who boxed out Illick. Bothwell the other way for Furman. Bothwell is not on a great shooting day, but he still found his way to 9 points, and he misses that one, and he's fouled. He'll have a chance to move into the top 10 all-time at Furman on the scoring list with this trip to the line.
So aggressive offensively, both on and off the ball. You see, all he needs is just a little bit of daylight. Boom, he's at the rim. Even at 6'3", that's a guy that can slither through a keyhole.
And Bothwell at the stripe. 2022 All-SoCon selection. Certainly a player of the year contender this year as he hits that one to move into 10th all-time in school history.
Like his free throw motion, holds the goodbye pose, utilizes body English, great vision, watches it all the way through. And best of all, he avoided the broadcaster's jinx.
It's a far cry from his 32 last year against the Bucks. He's got 11, and it's 56-34. Paladins in front with 9.5 to play.
Always had the ability to take you one-on-one. He's really improved his jump shot from the mid-range and the three-point line and beyond.
Pass tipped out of bounds. Active hands from Williams that time, looked like, and that sent it into the Buccaneer bench. They'll have it on the sideline with 11 to shoot.
Be interesting to watch the Furman Western Carolina rematch.
That will be interesting to watch because it certainly feels like a different Furman team from the one that played that second half. Tipler, a three in the corner with a hand in his face is good. Tipler gets that to go. That's his second made three, 56-37. Slauson on the elbow. Back out Williams, a long three. Rolls off the rim, won't go. Rebound out to Seymour. Gets it away, Tipler, and he wants to take it downhill to the block, off the window, and good. Tipler with 5 quick points, and then is called for a foul, trying to generate the turnover.
That was a great play by Tipler in transition, attacking J.P. Pegues. You see the shot by Tipler from the perimeter. When you have a defender backing up, you want to attack him because he's guessing what you're going to do at that point. Tipler did just that, took it at Pegues, who doesn't want to foul, with a 19-point advantage.
Senior from Ashland, Mississippi, and he's got 12 points to pace the Buccaneers this afternoon.
Benton County.
Yeah. Bothwell attacks. Runner is good with a right hand. And that's just a really confident drive to get that finish.
With the offhand.
King has it out near midcourt. The offense goes to work.
Tipler not the only big-time player to come out of Ashland, Mississippi. A local attorney, Steve Faris, played at Ole Miss and once held Pistol Pete Maravich to 63. True story.
Well, that certainly is. It's not the worst defensive performance that anybody put on Pete Maravich, I don't think. But it's definitely up there, unfortunately. Bothwell, left side. Free throw line. Swings it in the corner, Vanderwall, and he stepped on the sideline, out of bounds. Not the first time we've seen that. Not the first time we've seen that from the true freshman, Ben Vanderwall. And Furman with a 19-point lead with 7:37 to go in the second half. And we've got more coming up here from Freedom Hall. And DeAnthony Tipler with some good work for ETSU, leading the Buccaneers with 12 points in 23 minutes.
Well, you see Pegues backing up. DeAnthony Tipler sees him backing up, so what does he do? He takes it right at him. Easy finish in transition, knowing that Pegues doesn't want to foul with a big lead.
Tipler started, you hear about like 8th graders playing high school basketball, varsity high school basketball a lot. Tipler was playing middle school basketball as a 4th grader. Now, granted, maybe a small town Mississippi, right? But still, playing middle school basketball as a 4th grader, that's quite a jump.
Well, and those schools in Northeast Mississippi, smaller enrollments, a lot of them, like Ashland High School, don't play football, so they play more. The Mississippi High School Association allows them to play more basketball games. That is basketball country in that hill country of North Mississippi.
And I asked Tipler about it. That shot swatted down by Justice Smith. Wow. Emphatic block on the way up on that one. And Tipler takes it inside, reverses and hits. I asked Tipler about playing middle school ball as a 4th grader, and he bowed his head and smiled, and he said, I started too. 58-41, Furman leads ETSU. Inside 7 minutes to play at Freedom Hall.
And I asked Tipler about developing major college basketball skills growing up in a small town. I was expecting him to say, well, I went down to Ole Miss and played, or went to the playgrounds of Memphis. Nah, it was on a dirt road goal on a county road behind his home in Benton County, Mississippi.
Illick with a jumper in the paint to get the Bucks on the board once more. He's got 4 points now. 6.5 to go. It's a 15-point Paladin lead.
And Illick producing for Desmond Oliver off the bench.
This is Pegues. Right corner Foster, who dominated the first half with 18 points. Bothwell now to the elbow. In the paint, lost it, stolen. Jordan King gets it away. Tipler, but a foul is called behind the play. Foul called on Bothwell. That's his 3rd personal. And that is the 9th on the team. So to the free throw line for 1-1.
Well, if you're ETSU, you're going to fight back into this. That's what you need. Stops on the defensive end, quick hitters, an opportunity to chip into the lead with the clock stopped. Now, if King makes a couple of these, you extend the defense a little bit. You don't have the depth that you normally do, but down double digits with over 6 minutes to go. Might have to go outside the norm.
King hits the first and he'll get the bonus. now 4 of 5 from the line today. Jordan King, who has been pretty reliable free throw shooter for this team, the most reliable free throw shooter for this team so far this year. And the second, got it. All right, now it's a 13-point game, 6 minutes left. It's not done and dusted. Bothwell across the timeline for the Paladins.
If you're ETSU, you feel like you can get this into double digits by the final media timeout, you have a chance.
Bothwell working off a screen by Heen. Has it top of the key, crossover in the corner. Pegues, 3 is good. That's a clutch bucket from J.P. Pegues, his 32nd main 3, and it's back to 61-45.
Yeah, that hurt. ETSU felt connected. They navigated the ball screening action in the middle third, but Pegues with a near dagger from the corner.
Illick catch and shoot won't go. Rebound to Heen, and Haynes has to back off with 4 fouls.
I think sometimes you have to be careful if you're 6'10" and have a nice touch from the outside. Don't forget about the inside game in the mid-range.
Pegues to the block, cut off, turnaround jumper, air ball to Illick. King wants to go downhill, take it all the way himself, layup no, and a lot of bodies on the floor as Heen gets the rebound.
Credit Furman for running the floor, getting back in transition, and making King attempt that shot over length on the dead run.
What was it you said in your keys to the game? Atmos Energy keys to the game was Biggs run the floor, and that's what they did. But that time, Heen blows a tire in the paint, and King gets a steal. Tipler shot fake, looking, waiting, back to Haynes, the trailer. Smith has an Illick screen, goes behind it, now the other way. Illick on the right side, back to Smith. 8 to shoot. Justice Smith in the paint. Fights through contact. Shot no good. And the rebound is kicked all the way out to Bothwell, who's got the lob. Slauson had to catch it and then land and then got fouled.
That's a great play by Slauson on the break. Number one, just to make that catch, then the presence of mind to come to a jump stop and come down, player under control, off 2 feet, take it back up strong.
You take a look at it. I think he wanted to go for the alley-oop and just couldn't get it there as Illick's called for his 3rd.
Those are 2 guys that complete each other's sentences.
Correction, King was called for his 2nd on the sequence.
Slauson and Bothwell played a lot of basketball together.
Yes, they have. And Slauson hits the free throw. He's got 14. And it's 63-45 Paladins. And all that work just slowly undone, or maybe quickly undone for ETSU. Illick into the block. Haynes bodies up. Tough shot over. Slauson puts it in.
A rare deep post touch where Haynes is able to turn and shoot over the length of Slauson.
And Haynes is the man on the press. Vanderwall corner 3 is good. And that is just another dagger in the heart. Ben Vanderwall with his 2nd 3 of the game. And it's back to 19.
He can sting it from the corner when he doesn't step those size 14s on the sideline.
I think the analogy there is a puppy with big paws. King in the corner, a triple, no good. Defensive rebound to Foster. Foster's 9th board. That's his 1st of the 2nd half. Pegues.
Well, he's worn out. That was an active first half.
Well, that was an active first half. Slauson, Foster, who scorched the nets for 18 points in the first 20 minutes. Takes it in deep. Shot blocked. Illick pinballs around, out of bounds, and back to the Bucks. 3:01 left. Here at Freedom Hall, and Furman with a 66-47 lead on ETSU. They've done it all sorts of ways and getting it done here today in Johnson City. Hall with the Regional Eye Center game summary, and the Furman Paladins decisive advantage shooting the ball. That 3-point number is pretty glaring at 34% to 17%. It's just been the Paladins' day in offense, defense, every facet of the game.
And they haven't shot it as well as they have throughout the course of the season, but really locked in defensively. and just packed it in and forced ETSU to make shots from the perimeter. That hasn't occurred yet. Bucks haven't helped themselves either in terms of decision making. 16 turnovers, which have led to 22 Paladin points.
Now, you said they shoot 50.2% from the floor, normally just 41% today. The Bucks with the ball with DeAnthony Tipler to the block. Bodies up, shakes off Bothwell, puts it up, he's fouled, and he'll shoot two. Bothwell called for his fourth.
Well, Furman's been attacking Tipler off the bounce all day. This time, Tipler flips the script and goes right at the bigger Bothwell. Shows a little leather. Separation with the shoulder. Bothwell's okay until he leans over just a little bit.
Tipler hits the first. And that chips into this deficit just a little bit.
So I can't, excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt you there, but the point I want to make, Tipler, too good a shooter to come in at 62%.
Yes. And he missed that one. That's his first miss of the afternoon.
So wasn't he 80% at Coastal 2 years ago?
Sounds right. He was very good at Coastal. Very good three-point shooter as well. Well over 40%. The corner, this is Bothwell to the baseline. Swings it back out. There's nobody there except Jalen Haynes. Haynes ahead, stolen by Slauson, and Slauson steps on the sideline out of bounds.
And that's how you get to be Southern Conference Defensive Player of the Year. You're 6'8", run the floor, get a steal in open space on that long pass. Jalen Slauson doing things that a guy his size just is not supposed to do.
And Furman, if this result holds, their first win at Freedom Hall since February 25th of 2018. And certainly one of the larger margins that we've seen in this series. Haynes, a three, is well short. Rebound to Foster. And Bob Ritchie, who's won one of his first 5 in this building as the head coach of the Paladins, but has won a lot of other places. He is the 17th winningest coach in Division I with 100 or more games coached. Bothwell left side three, that's no good. And a defensive rebound to Justice Smith.
Not bad for a guy yet to celebrate his 40th birthday.
39 years old, and he's ahead of Bob Huggins on the winningest coaches leaderboard. That's pretty nice. Tipler, an NBA range three, is no good, and Slauson the board. Pegues ahead to Heen, right-hand layup, good. And the Paladins have a 20-point lead once again. As King, with 90 seconds left, spins and gives to Smith. And he takes it downhill, shot blocked. The Paladins entered the week number 24 in the College Insider Mid-Major Top 25. And 2 dominant performances against the Citadel at home. As Foster, another three, would be his 5th. It's no good. Rebound Tipler. And they are on their way, I would imagine, a little farther up that pole as Struthers shot no good. Rebound, Haynes putback is good. And a timeout to Desmond Oliver. And that is a timeout on the floor, so we can talk a little bit more about it. When we return, Furman looks good for the win. Comfortably ahead of ETSU. It's been their day here in Johnson City. Is the 17th active winningest head coach, or 17th winningest head coach among active coaches, as Seymour takes it up with 2 hands and scores it with 100 or more games. 705 the win percentage, so 70.5. That's ahead of Bob Huggins, and it's well, I can't say this one too loud, it's ahead of Steve Forbes as well on the all-time list. The head coach at Wake Forest, who built a lot of successful teams here in Johnson City. Tipler right side, a three, rolls off the rim, offensive rebound, Haynes puts it back up, and that goes in. Jalen Haynes gets on the board again. He's got 11, make it 13, and it's a 16-point Paladin lead with the shot clock off. So, pretty strong performance from Furman today. Certainly a team that, you think that Western Carolina loss kind of feels like a little bit of a fluke now that we've seen them come out storm all over the Citadel and really just blitz the Buccaneers in the first half to build that big lead and cruise to a win here.
Yeah, sure rebounded from him. I don't use a lot of cliches, but this is a ball club that has played with a chip on its shoulder all year long and felt like they had something to prove, stemming from the heartbreak in Asheville and then the snub from the NIT. Team playing hard and playing every ball game like it's their last and playing with a tremendous sense of urgency. And what Bob Ritchie's squad has this year that he hadn't had in previous seasons, and that's quality depth. This team is easily 8-9 deep.
And a rebound to Jeremy Gregory is the free throw no good. And the Bucks will run their offense here at the end of the game as Smith has it stripped, gets it back, puts it up, won't go, put back is good. And Pegues will walk it up. The Bucks won't foul, and Furman comes into Freedom Hall and walks out with their first win in 5 years, 70-56. They defeat ETSU